Okay, so we have a lot of information out here, ladies and gentlemen, a lot to take in, and we definitely got to talk about it. But before we get into that information, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. One of my good friends here on YouTube.com, now he hasn't been able to upload no content, for a few days because he's actually at the hospital, visit some family members. But I want y'all to do me a huge favor. I want y'all guys to send, y'all best wishes towards his family. And this is my boy Randall Thor 19. You guys know he was on this channel before, had a good conversation with him, and he's a cool dude. He's one of the better Xbox channels out there here on YouTube. And God, there are so many Xbox channels here on YouTube that are just clickbaity and X amount of things. But no, this dude is actually legit. So definitely give him a listen. If you guys are not fans of his, you probably will become fans on this channel if you guys give him a listen. So thank you guys for doing that. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan the Professional, and welcome to today's video. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, let us get started. So, we're going to start off with Microsoft and Sony. This right here is pertaining the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X in terms of HDR. Now, I know a lot of you might think crossplay. This has nothing to do with crossplay. This is actually involving all games using HDR, and they're creating a guideline system for better, consistent, better visuals. That's what they're working on. Again, it's pretty cool because there's a guideline system for third-party devs, so I guess it's easier for them to follow as opposed to them going in here and not knowing much of what they can do to give you what they got. I guess that's what they're trying to do here. But based on these guidelines, let's go ahead and list them. The first one is called the consistent and fair gameplay. This states that game design, creative content, example, zombie appearing from the dark and enemy shooter silhouetted in blinding light, needs to appear the same for consistent gameplay ability, regardless of display performance. The second principle, it basically says that existing HDR game experience should not be deteriorated but stable or even enhanced with the improvement of future HDR display performance. And the final guiding principle is that practical and easy to use means must be prepared for game developers and consumers. So, for instance, any processing should not consume resources that may affect real-time processing and complicated manual setup operations. Example, in-game calibration should be avoided. So that's basically the principles that they're going to go by when it comes to games using HDR. Will it work? Will it be effective? Only time will tell, I guess you can say. It's going to be interesting to see how games really do take advantage, or how they use this with, their games take advantage of everything. So, yeah, I guess you can just take it for what it is. But moving on to a story that I really am a little sad to tell you. Like, I really wanted this game to have a sequel. It's one of the better games that I played, especially at the start of this gen. But the Order 1886 sequel had already been written. Now, I guess a lot of you kind of already figured this out. It was made by, Ready at Dawn. Ready at Dawn had a very cool story to tell us with the game. It was a really, really cool, well done game. I did like the story. I like the characters. I like the sense of immersion that you got with the world, right? I really did like the Order 1886. But according to this, though, we didn't get the sequel, and it's already been written, and possibly we will not get a sequel. And it sucks. It sucks, man. It really does suck, Especially when you look at everything, because the game wasn't a failure in terms of sales. It did actually pretty well. The problem with the Order 1886 was the fact that the game just didn't have the length to justify the $60 price tag, and that ended up hurting it pretty bad. But let's go ahead and read this article. Where is it? Okay, sorry. Ready at Dawn could have built a sequel to the PlayStation 4 exclusive action game, The Order 1886. According to CEO, I'm not going to say his last name. I always mess up his last name. And his first name, but the developer had indeed worked on a huge amount of story material that would have served as a foundation for the follow-up. After the not-so-great critical reception, Sony has decided that the series would stick to the original chapter, although it basically ended on a cliffhanger that was quite a shame because said of its many issues, the game has something special. And I agree, it did have something special, especially with the whole story behind this. And I think a lot of you already know the stories. It's not really me spoiling anything, but I'm not going to say anything about it, though. But this is what he had to say. It's hard for me to answer that one, he laughs. I will tell you the same answer I would have given in the past. Before the order it came out that that IP was built with a lot of work behind it, he said. His second comment, he said, was even before the release of the game, we put a lot of work on the foundations of why each of these characters are who they are, where they came from, what is behind the story, not 1886, but what's behind the story he added. We asked, where did it start? Where is it going? There is a lot of story that was already written because we felt, again, writing a game and just kind of isolating it to just a story that it would have been was not enough for us. So that's what they basically said on the game. Again, it's unfortunate that we didn't get the sequel. I would have loved the sequel, but beggars can be choosers, people. Beggars can be choosers. And the last, well, actually one of the last few articles I got for you guys, this is regarding the PS5. So the PS5 will launch in late 2019, says a Japanese analyst. Now again, this is probably probably the fourth time we heard the PS5 will launch in 2019, and we're all going to agree in open arms. It's not coming out in 2019. There's no way it's coming out in 2019. If it drops in 2019, that would be stupid. The reason why it would be stupid, how many consoles has Sony just released so far? And a lot of you might go, or that might, agree with this and go, nah, it's 2019. Listen, they just released the custom Spider-Man edition PS4. They just released the 500mm PS4. I mean, there's so many damn consoles out already. I don't think it's fair, nor does it make sense for anybody to really be hyping up a 2019 release date. I don't think it will happen. 2020, 2021 seems about right. Really, 2021 is where I would think it would come out, and I would hope it will come out because there's a lot of people still just getting into the ecosystem. I mean, they just reached over 80 million, units sold not that long ago. So again, they're doing well, and they really want to outpace, or they want to get up there to the PlayStation 2 in terms of the 100 millions and whatnot. Then, I mean, come on, Sony, just, be real here. But let's go ahead and read this. Predictions are all over the place as to when Sony's follow-up to the PS4 will be released. Some were initially predicting late 2018, which obviously isn't happening, while others think the PS5 is further away in 2020, 2021. The latest on the subject comes from Japanese firm ACE Economic Research Institute, which suggests that the PlayStation 5 will launch in late 2019. This is assuming Sony can build enough units in time. A small component called a monolithic ceramic capacitor is popular in many modern and up-and-coming devices, such as 5G smartphones, so popular in fact that manufacturers are struggling to meet demand. If Sony is in fact using this as part of its PS5 hardware, getting hold of enough code could delay production of the next-gen console. We're still not convinced we'll see the PS5 in 2019, as the PS4 has a huge number of high-profile releases coming next year and probably beyond. Not to mention the PS4 is selling incredibly well for a machine of its age. There you go. They actually answered their own question right there with this prediction. But again, okay. Yes, 2019, you have Days Gone, you have a few other games coming out. I'm not sure if Ghost of Tsushima will come out in 2019. There was no release date for that. Obviously, The Last of Us Part 2, most definitely 2019. But again, I don't see no PS5 coming out in 2019. It's just too much. Sony's already still making money as it is with the PS4. And they're making so much, again, they're making so many limited edition consoles. So it kind of is pointless for them to come out with a, PS5 right now. And I understand the excitement, everybody's going to be excited for it, but again, come on, we don't need the PS5 just yet. We're good on what we have right now. And speaking of PS5 and next gen consoles, this is where this conversation might go left for a lot of people. Now, there was a big announcement yesterday. Okay, big announcement. And this is from Nvidia. Nvidia came out with the RTX 2080 graphics cards, or the 2080 graphics cards. These graphics cards are far beyond anything a 1080 or a 1070 can do. And you guys are very familiar with those graphics cards. You see, you know, a lot of PC dudes throwing that in your face every time somebody hypes up graphics on a PS4 or 360 or an Xbox, whatever, right? Well, the reason why I brought up this article and the reason why this is a big deal, especially going against console, one thing I see going on in this community, especially with a lot of people nowadays, is that they hype up these consoles as if they're going to, quote unquote, pull people away or shock people to the point where it's like, yeah, we never seen that before. And unfortunately, those days are far behind us, guys. They're far behind us. Yes, consoles are good. They're compact. They're small devices to give you, that give you a nice, image. But these new graphics cards are now pushing 8K. These are the graphics cards you saw so many people talking about. And with these graphics cards officially coming out in September, I don't see the point of Sony or Microsoft really talking about graphical fidelity at this point. I don't. I can see games getting better with the PS5 and the new Xbox, but what we should have for the PS5 and the new Xbox is a set standard. What do I mean by a set standard? Well, I would say that all games on the PS5 and the new Xbox should at least look like The Last of Us Part 2 by default. That's fine. That right there is more than enough for a console. I think that's more than fair, really, for a console in terms of, visual representation. Every game should at least look on par with that. Maybe some should look better than Spider-Man, and I'm expecting Spider-Man sequel to look even better than what we got now. So you get where I'm going with this. We need a set, we need a set standard. The graphics and everything of that nature, again, that's cool to have, but we need a set standard, especially when it comes to performance. I mean, how many times you guys got tired of these games crashing on PS4 and Xbox One? Just saying. So that's how I'm gonna get at that. I'm not about to compare the graphics cards to the console or anything like that. No, there's no comparison. But I'm just throwing it out there. These graphics cards that just came out, well, they have officially took a lot of the attention for a lot of people, especially when they're showing off the new environments and everything, how environments will look and how organic they look when explosions go off. I mean, it's pretty damn impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty damn impressive. The most expensive card last time I checked is like what, $1,200? So again, but these are pretty damn good. So I'm not gonna talk on those as much, but again, it's just throwing it out there, man. Just throwing it out there. I know a lot of people are excited for next generation. I'm excited as well, too. I am excited for what they can deliver us. But at the same time, I know when to simmer my expectations and accept what I know will actually be most likely a standard, you know what I'm saying, or what we'll most likely get. I'm not expecting no crazy like 4K Ultra type of thing. No, if anything, the PS5 and the new Xbox will master 4K. There won't be no checkerboard rendering. They'll have 4K mastered, probably can get it at 60 frames at medium settings, maybe high, right, to be fair. And that's pretty much it. I don't really see much for the PS5. If only thing I'm looking forward to for the PS5, and the same thing can be said about the Xbox One if they can actually get this right, is the first party content. That's what I'm looking forward to. When they get those first party content out there and they show us the the differences and how they look, again, not expecting no huge difference, but I'm just expecting the good games. That's what I want for Sony and Microsoft, and I think we all can agree in unison that that's what we care about at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. That's the video, ladies and gentlemen. I have nothing else to talk about in this one. I appreciate you guys taking time out of the day to watch it. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. For those of you that are new, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys later on, probably today, if there's anything else for me to talk about. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.